Cristiano, your last visit to India was in October of 2022, nearly 18 months ago. You met the Prime Minister, you discussed the 5G opportunity, the semiconductor plans in India. So what's been the big change that you've observed when it comes to India in the last 18 months and Qualcomm's presence in India? How has it changed?
Very good. Well, first of all, a significant change. I think we're incredibly excited about not only the number of opportunities in India, the growth of India, but the commitment to digital and to technology, commitment to digital technology. It's very exciting. And I think from that time to now, we have seen a number of opportunities in partnerships expand.
In fact, there was a Gautam Adani tweet that was put out earlier after you met with him, and he's excited to know about Qualcomm's plans in semiconductor, AI, mobility, edge appliance, and even your plans and commitment to India. So talk about how Qualcomm's partnerships in India have gone up in the last 18 months, and is Adani a new partnership that you're looking?
Very good. Look, I will start by saying, first of all, India is starting to play an important role in many industries. So, for example, automotive is one of them, and I think we're very proud to be partnered with all the India auto companies, whether it's connected cars, some of the digital cockpit experience. Actually, we created a completely new product line for India, with India, for example, the two-wheeler market, especially how you bring the two-wheeler market into a digital experience as well. I think all vehicles are really becoming a new computing space. That's one example of an opportunity. The other one is the growth of broadband. Some of the projects we have been making in broadband, whether it's wireless, and now even excited about opportunity to go beyond wireless, even to fiber as well. You look at Qualcomm technologies across 5G, fiber, Wi-Fi. The other one that I think is a new opportunity is industrial. One of the goals of Qualcomm is this broad digital transformation that is happening at the edge. And with that, I think a lot of the industries in India, they're going through the process of transformation, create an interception point, new relationship, new partnerships, some of that you mentioned earlier.
So just the India revenue right now, what does it stand at? Because it's a large market for you. And if you could break it up in terms of the various segments and the businesses. So how much comes from automotive? How much comes from smartphones and even industrials, a new space that you're targeting? Is it possible to segment this?
We don't disclose, but what I can tell you is it's growing. And we're excited because it's not only growing historically as a market that consumes technology, but as a market that is now growing with technology. We call that direct revenue. Indian customers sourcing chipsets in semiconductors to build their products. And that's growing. I'll look at the growth rate. For example, from 22 to 23 as an example of our direct revenue. It's one of the highest that we have in other regions.
You know what? I was reading somewhere, just preparing for this interview, and Savi Soin, the Qualcomm India president, he said that Qualcomm spends in India in 4 months what AMD spends in 4 to 5 years, and Qualcomm spends in India in 8 to 9 months what Micron plans to spend in a decade. And that's a big statement. So tell us, how much has Qualcomm invested in India and what are the future investment plans?
What I will say, we started investing in India before it was popular. And I think we're very proud, of how significant India is for Qualcomm. When you think about, for example, Qualcomm employees in India, we have been building a presence in India now for more than a decade now. We have very important sites across Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, which are going to inaugurate a new building, Noida. And what is unique, Qualcomm has done a lot of advanced R&D in India. A lot of our chips, if not all of them, are designed in India. And I think we're very proud of that. And that presence in India, which is very significant, is also creating opportunities, given the number of resources we have here, for a number of Indian companies propelled by this digital India to enter the semiconductor space. And I think that positioned Qualcomm in a very unique spot within the Indian market.
So I'll get to the semiconductor opportunity, but before that, I was also very excited to know that Qualcomm is working on a chip which will enable a very affordable 5G smartphone, a sub $99 smartphone. So a cheaper chip will enable a cheaper handset. So tell us your plans. on
Yes.
this front?
Maybe I'll step back a little bit and talk about the big picture. One of the greatest thing about 5G, and we want to see 5G coverage continue to expand in India. We wanted to see like a lot of 5G services. And the interesting thing about 5G is the only technology that actually can support the growth of mobile data, support high speeds, unlimited data rates for consumers. And you see a lot of 5G phones right now. They're premium, the high-tier phones. The majority of the market is still people buy a 4G phone, and we want everybody to experience 5G. And I think with that, we see two vectors that enable that. One is the 5G networks are becoming more modern, and the opportunity exists for the operators in India to invest in what we call SA, standalone network. Once you do that, then you enable the opportunity to actually bring some of those 5G devices at very attractive price points. And I think that's what we're working on. We're announcing on a chipset shortly. We think we can build with our ecosystem of partners devices at those price points as early as the second half of this year. We'll love to have, this is an opportunity to have an India smartphone OEM. And I think the great thing is about start converting all of the 4G base into 5G, get all consumers to access 5G, and then allow operators to refarm that spectrum. So there's a lot of good things coming out of this project.
So you're in conversations with your Indian telecom OEMs, you know, your some of your partners here, and you're saying that they will start, you know, manufacturing these devices at a very attractive price in the second half of this year?
That's what we want.
Is Jio, because you have already a partnership with Jio.
We've been working with all operators, and we're working with all OEMs to enable those devices. I think the opportunity here is really to think about 5G broadly and bring 5G to everyone.
Okay, very exciting to hear that. You know, Cristiano, I was at MWC, and AI has become this focal marketing message for all flagship launches now. We've already had AI in smartphones for some time now, but what about generative AI in smartphones?
Very good. It's a great question. Actually, one of my favorite questions is to talk about this because we're 100% convinced that Gen AI will fundamentally change how we think about our devices. The way I will describe this, and we start introducing this comment, actually before MWC in our tech summit last year, that you're going to have this AI agent on your phone that the job will be to be running all the time and to basically try to predict your every movement. And what's exciting about this is we're starting to see some very attractive use cases, but that's just the beginning. We don't know what developer is going to come up. As an example, the Galaxy S24 Ultra from Samsung that just launched, you can do live translation. It looked like science fiction. You can call somebody and talk in one language and they hear in another language. You see a number of different things you can do with photography. But the exciting thing is it will change how we fundamentally interact with devices. We're going to move from the app economy to apps coexisting with the AI economy. And what is interesting is something as simple as a text. Like you text somebody, the text that you write on the phone, when you have the AI running on the device, that could be a query to a Gen AI model, and the model was always asking itself, what is this text that you just read? Is there an action for me? And maybe there will be one. Do you need to call an Uber? Do you want to book a restaurant? Do you want to share a photo? Do you want to contact somebody? Do you want me to pull a document for you? And I think that's going to start to change how we interact. And one of the most exciting things we did at MWC, we announced something called the AI Hub that basically has over 75 models already ported into our chipsets, whether it's a chipset in a phone, whether it's upcoming PC, whether it's eventually also the car, some IoT platform, so the developers can start coming with those use cases. We don't know what they are, but we know that it's fundamentally going to change our industry.
You spoke about an AI agent in everyone's phone, and we're moving from an app economy to an app plus AI. What about an appless phone? Now, Deutsche Telekom and MWC showcased an appless smartphone, and that was quite exciting, but as of now, it's a concept phone. Do you see it turning into a reality where we don't need apps anymore and generative AI can do the job?
Yes, we're working with them on that. And you know, I think that's a very good vision and a concept, and I think show what's possible. When you think about it, personally, I think that smartphones are here to stay. And I believe that you're going to see a coexistence of the apps and the AI. But it's not just unique to Deutsche Telekom. You're starting to see companies now thinking about devices that are just pure AI agents. Like one of our customers, for example, is Humane, that you can have a wearable
Humane
device.
AI pen.
You have other customers that talk about devices that you just talk to it, or you just you type. But I think the interesting thing is the power of AI plus apps in the smartphones is going to make those devices significantly more useful than they are today. And it is real. I think we're going to see a change from apps into AI agents.